Ugh. Is Fido freezing his fur off? We all love a bit of sunshine, but sometimes even the sunniest days can turn chilly, leaving our furry friends shivering in the cold. It's not just the winter months we need to worry about. Unexpected weather changes can catch us off guard. Dogs, just like us, feel the chill, and it's our job as responsible pet parents to make sure they stay warm and comfortable. Whether it's a cozy blanket, a snug sweater, or a warm bed, there are plenty of ways to keep your pup toasty. But how can you tell if your four-legged mate is feeling the cold? Let's dive in. Dogs have their own ways of showing they're uncomfortable. Raised fur, tucked tails, and shivering are just a few signs that your dog might be feeling the chill. You wouldn't catch an Aussie bloke heading out in the snow in his boardies, would you? Just like we dress appropriately for the weather, our dogs need a bit of help too when the mercury drops. Well, our canine companions need a bit of help too when the mercury drops. A doggy coat or a warm scarf can make a world of difference. It's not just about fashion, it's about keeping them safe and comfortable. Knowing the signs of a chilly pup is the first step to keeping them happy and healthy all year round. Look out for shivering, lethargy, and even whining. These are all indicators that your dog might be too cold. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and let's decode those doggy distress signals. Understanding these signs can help you take quick action to warm up your furry friend. Whether it's bringing them inside, adding an extra layer, or simply snuggling up together, there are many ways to ensure your dog stays warm. Remember, every dog is different. Some breeds are more susceptible to the cold than others. Smaller dogs, dogs with short fur, and older dogs often need extra care during colder weather. Investing in some good quality winter gear for your dog can be a game changer. Booties can protect their paws from the cold ground, and a well-fitted coat can keep their body heat in. At the end of the day, it's all about making sure your dog feels loved and cared for. A warm home, a loving owner, and a bit of extra attention during the colder months can make all the difference. So let's keep our furry friends warm and happy, no matter what the weather throws at us. Shivers down the spine and other telltale signs. Okay, first things first. If your dog is doing the jitterbug, and it's not to the tune of your favorite AC/DC track, chances are they're feeling a bit cold. Dogs, much like humans, can feel the chill, and their bodies react in similar ways. When you see your furry friend shivering, it's their body's natural response to generate heat. This involuntary muscle movement helps to warm them up, but it's also a clear sign that they need some extra warmth. Shivering is a dead giveaway that your pup is trying to generate some heat. It's their way of telling you that the temperature is too low for their comfort. But shivering isn't the only sign you should be on the lookout for. Dogs have a variety of ways to communicate their discomfort, and it's important to pay attention to these signals. But it's not just about the shivers. There are other telltale signs that your dog might be feeling the cold. For instance, you might notice them whining more than usual. This vocalization is often a plea for help or comfort, indicating that they're not happy with their current situation. Keep an eye out for other signs like whining, which can be a clear indicator of discomfort. Dogs might also lift their paws off the ground, especially if the surface is cold. This is a common behavior in cold weather, as their paws are sensitive to the temperature, lifting their paws off the ground trying to avoid the cold surface. Another behavior to watch for is burrowing. Dogs will often try to find a warm, cozy spot to snuggle into when they're feeling cold. This might mean burrowing under blankets or finding a warm corner to curl up in, or trying to burrow under blankets. They might even start looking for warmth from you, cuddling up closer than usual. This is their way of seeking comfort and warmth from their trusted human. They might even start looking for warmth from you, cuddling up closer than usual. If your dog is normally independent but suddenly becomes a cuddle bug, it could be a sign that they're feeling the chill and looking for some extra warmth. If your dog's usually perky tail is tucked between their legs, that's another sign they're not loving the temperature. A tucked tail can indicate that they're feeling insecure or uncomfortable, and in cold weather, it's often a sign that they're trying to conserve body heat. So if you notice any of these behaviors, it's time to take action to warm up your furry friend. Whether it's providing a cozy blanket, a warm spot to rest, or even a little extra cuddle time, your dog will appreciate the effort to keep them comfortable and warm. Wrap them up! Warmth solutions for your chilly canine. So, you've decoded the doggy distress signals and your furry friend is giving you the "I'm freezing my tail off" look. What do? Don't worry, we've got you covered. First up, invest in a good quality dog coat or sweater. There are heaps of options out there, from stylish puffer jackets to cozy fleece jumpers. Choose one that fits your dog snugly but allows for freedom of movement. And don't forget about those little paws. Dog booties can protect their feet from icy pavements and prevent snow from building up between their toes. Pause for a second. We want to hear from you. Now it's your turn. Tell us in the comments below. What are your go-to tips for keeping your furry friend warm in winter? Do you have a favorite brand of dog coat? Share your wisdom and let's create a warm and fuzzy community for our four-legged mates. We love hearing your stories, tips and tricks, so don't be shy. Hit that like button and drop a comment below. And while you're at it, tag a fellow dog lover who might need these tips too. A tale of two pups. Humorous anecdotes to warm your heart. Speaking of keeping warm, let me tell you about the time my Chihuahua, Paco, decided he was a husky. Now, Paco is a tiny little guy, barely weighing 5 pounds soaking wet, but he has the heart of a lion, or at least he thinks he does. We were living in Melbourne at the time, and it was a particularly chilly winter's day. Melbourne winters can be quite harsh, with the wind cutting through you like a knife. Everyone was bundled up in layers upon layers of clothing, and Paco was no exception. I bundled Paco up in his warmest coat, but he was still shivering like a leaf. You'd think he was auditioning for a role in a disaster movie with all that dramatic shivering. I even tried wrapping him in a blanket, but nothing seemed to help. Then he spotted a puddle that had frozen over. It was like a scene from a cartoon. His eyes lit up, and he suddenly stopped shivering. Do you know what this little guy did? He marched right onto the ice and started barking at his reflection. It was as if he was saying, "Who is this imposter? There's only room for one top dog here." He marched right onto the ice and started barking at his reflection. I couldn't believe my eyes. Here was this tiny Chihuahua, acting like he was the king of the Arctic. He was so confident, so sure of himself, that I almost believed he could pull a sled all by himself. I swear he thought he was a sled dog leading the charge. He puffed out his little chest and strutted around like he owned the place. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. People passing by couldn't help but stop and laugh at the sight. Needless to say, I scooped him up before he turned into a Paco sickle. I couldn't let my brave little warrior freeze out there. As I carried him back home, he looked up at me with those big, proud eyes as if to say, "Did you see that? I showed that reflection who's boss." And that's Paco for you, always ready to take on the world, one frozen puddle at a time. Keep your best mate toasty. Remember, keeping your dog warm and comfortable is about more than just avoiding the shivers. It's about providing them with the best possible care and ensuring they stay happy and healthy all year round. So pay attention to those subtle signs, invest in some cozy gear, and don't be afraid to go the extra mile to keep your furry friend feeling loved and cherished. After all, they give us unconditional love and endless entertainment. The least we can do is return the favor with a warm hug and a cozy spot by the fire. Join the pack. Want more pawsome tips and tricks for keeping your furry friend happy and healthy? Subscribe to my channel for more videos on all things dog training, care, and entertainment. From puppy training tips to fun DIY projects, we've got you covered. Click that subscribe button and join the pack today.